Do 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 do. All right. Sorry, I needed my little theme music to get in the mood.
I don't think we can afford that theme music.
Do 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 do.
Stop it.
It's fine. It's not copyright because I'm making the music myself.
I don't think that's how it works.
Anyways, hello. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome to We're the 90s Kids, otherwise pronounced as whack.
That is whack.
And because you're listening to this, you're whack too. It's okay. We're whack together.
Oh, I like making bad decisions together.
Me too.
Like listening to this podcast.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, so why are we here, Andrew?
I could say forced against my will, but that's not the right answer.
No, because otherwise I'm going to shoot you. I mean, hug you.
I'm perfectly
with
fine
a water gun
with these ropes around my neck. But you're saying?
Yeah. So why are we here? What is the point of this podcast?
Well, I think we wanted to spend more time together. The therapist said this is a great way to bond.
Yeah, the therapist did say you should talk about your feelings to somebody else other than him.
Right.
He said I wasn't paying him enough, so I am here.
Okay.
Dealing with my problems,
right,
like the rest of us.
Okay, now for the real answer, because you got the Dr. Phil answer. We're doing this because just for one, it's fun. I think it's really fun that we get to just sit here and talk about what we want to talk about, and then if you choose to listen, cool.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so how do I explain this? So originally, it was an idea that me and Andrew would just kind of throw out. It's like, hey, we should do a podcast. Hey, and then like, a quarter would go by in our school. Right. And then the next quarter would be like, hey, why aren't we doing this? And it would just continue for about a year.
Because we started joking at first. It was like, hey, we should do a podcast. And then it became, hey, dude, we should like totally do a podcast.
It's like, it became to the point where we would have all these conversations without recording it. And I feel like there's many times where it's like, damn, that was funny. Like, right. But I guarantee like it's a joke off the top of my head. But by the next day, don't remember it at all.
Right.
But all I know is I had a good time.
We just had stupid bits.
Exactly.
And like, between good friends, inside jokes.
Yeah, and that's why the point is to have you guys, the listeners, be our good friends. So that way you have inside jokes and people are like, the hell? What are you laughing about? Yeah. But then they can say something like, and people are like, oh, hey, that's pretty funny.
Right.
You know?
I also have to clarify, not friends with benefits.
No.
Unless those benefits happen to be money.
No, I mean...
I'm kidding. We're joking. But if you have money, though, my Venmo is...
Yeah, and we're also not friends without benefits.
Right.
They are actually a show on YouTube.
Yeah.
Fun fact, they're actually really funny guys. I've never met them.
No.
They're from like Oklahoma, so some random rural area.
But if you happen to be listening, you should totally come on the show one of these days.
They would never listen.
Oh no.
They have better things to do.
They have better taste than that.
Their audience are 12-year-olds, so I mean, who knows? Maybe we have the same audience.
Are you implying that you're 12?
No, I'm implying we're retarded.
Oh, okay, yes. That's fair. Keep going.
Yeah, so we need to be controversial to be in the limelight.
Ooh, I'll get Grand Theft Auto on it.
Yeah. So, okay. But yeah, so I mean, the point that I wanted to get at, aside from all these jokes, is I really wanted to start a podcast with Andrew, and I feel like we don't do this often enough. Like so we've been really busy, and we haven't had time to spend any time together, period. So we figured, you know what? When we spend time together, let's do something productive.
Right. Let's make it profitable.
Yeah. Shut up and give me your money.
Emptying wallet quickly. It's not fast enough.
Basically. So yeah, I mean, honestly, this whole podcast is just for us to talk about whatever we want. There's no limits. I would say we have you guys ask us questions, but I mean, to the two fans of you,
which is both our moms.
Yeah, they're clearly not gonna give us questions.
And they don't even listen. They just say, "I love you, honey." I'm like, that's not even a question.
Yeah, they'll just be like, send me your link so I can share it to my friends, and then secretly they're making fun of us.
Right, they're laughing in the workroom. They're like,
can you believe he's my kid?
Oh my God, he still lives at home.
Should have just swallowed him when I had the chance.
Anyways, the point, this is good therapy. It's cheaper.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Normally I just bottle it in like every other normal person, but
Yeah, I can't afford to do that.
You can't afford to bottle in your emotions?
No, I have to box it because it's cheaper.
But you have to buy a box.
No. That box is made of cardboard. When you bottle it, yours is like a glass bottle, but it's like a figurative glass bottle. Mine's a literal box.
Interesting.
And then if I get up in the levels, like
do
Ron
you box
Burgundy,
pour?
Do you box? No, just I wrap poorly.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Wordplay for those who enjoy.
That was
stupid.
If you're joining in on that point, I am sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm glad you came in to leave the podcast.
Yeah.
That's the best part, honestly.
But if you're deaf, you can't hear this at all.
Why would we market to deaf kids?
I don't know. People be weird.
How would you market this to deaf kid? Do you just throw your laptop in their face, or do you throw a microphone in their face?
Oh, you're saying they can't read a transcript now?
I mean, they could be illiterate. Think about it this way. Okay,
All right.
so a deaf kid is trying to read, but how is he going to read the letters out properly if he doesn't know what they sound like? How are you going to teach him how a word sounds? Like, don't get me wrong. I get there's like,
Our producer's over there doing sign language right now.
I get
Allie,
there's
I don't
ketchup.
understand you.
I get there's ketchup and like,
What do you mean? She's signing aggressively now.
Jesus Christ. So like tomato.
Yeah.
So obviously those are just colloquial, like different variances.
Right.
How would a person who's deaf understand that? And like, how would they say that? Like, are they
With their hands, Kevin.
How do you? No.
With their hands.
They have mouths for a reason.
Oh, they can do the same machine like what's his face? Well, one of them passed away.
There's no
physicist.
word. There's no way they can properly pronounce a word. If
Well, they
can
themselves
never
can't
hear
do it, but their phone can do it through Google Translate.
yeah, but how are they going to pronounce it? Because they can't hear what it sounds like.
No, but they know what it should look like.
No, okay, they can spell. I'm sorry, but how are they going to pronounce the word?
I don't know, man.
Like it's kind of like one of
What,
those
you're
things.
saying a colloquial implant doesn't exist?
Well, are you telling me there's colloquial variances between sign languages?
No, I'm not. Well, not. It's a colloquial is an implant. A colloquier is an implant that some children at a young age who are deaf can get implanted so they could hear.
Point being,
Yeah.
if they could not do that, if you are walking around as a deaf person,
Yeah.
you've never heard a single word in your life, you're telling me that you'll be able to pronounce a word perfectly by just reading it.
No, because there's even a 5-year-old who reads certain things and it's like saying the word jalapeno, jalapeno.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
But the problem is, I feel like even then, they probably pronounce it even differently too. So, but we will never know.
You're saying they're gonna pronounce it?
I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. You said you couldn't pronounce it, so they'll be like, they don't know what it sounds like.
You're right.
It could be like,
You're right. You're not wrong. You know, maybe that's what they think everything
I
sounds
don't
like.
know. The producer's shaking their head. We cannot get sponsors now.
Our producer's telling us we are retarded. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not able to pronounce that word.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Handed me a note.
What does it say?
Okay. So it's telling us to use Castbox to upload the podcast for free.
Castbox is the best place to upload your podcast. See what I did there?
Keep going. You're the advertisement guy.
Oh. Should I do the advertisement like an old-timey advertising?
It's about getting profits. Sponsors, just like ads, Patreons, and market whack merch. I thought that said wick. I was thinking.
We have wicker baskets with the whack logos.
No, I was thinking like the checks for wick from Target. I'm sorry. Target just ruined my life.
Target. Oh, you tell them about how you used to work at Target.
So, God, I love that place. So, Target, the most amazing place in the world, as many college girls, WHIT girls.
I love it too, so
yeah,
I guess I fit in that group.
so
I just don't have the breasts.
Target's fun to hang out when you're shopping.
Right.
You get to go look at all the amazing deals they have. They have amazing clothes. They have amazing gifts, things for the house. They have toys. They have electronics. They have a little bit of everything. And just noticing we're not sponsored by Target, but
Yeah, we won't get sponsored
place.
by them because we're talking crap on them.
No, I'm not. It's an amazing place. Why would I ever talk crap about
that puts
Target?
money in my back pocket?
So, anyways, Target. No, but okay. So
yeah,
it's a good place.
I think it's fun. Yeah.
The problem is, if you weren't there,
mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't speak for all Targets,
right.
But for the Target I was at, I was a front person, and being there as the only young male, semi-fit male in the front versus 12 girls whom half of them were like 60-year-old women,
Oh.
overweight. And no offense, half of the other girls were also overweight. But then it was either like, so half of the 12 were old women. Half of the half, so a quarter of them were overweight, maybe college
Okay.
women.
Yeah, okay.
And then the other half, or the other quarter, is either higher ranked, so they're above everybody else,
Right.
or very petite.
Oh. Okay.
So the problem that that I had was being the only young male, in the sense they needed people to push carts. That was not my job. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for team spirit,
Right,
keeping
right.
the store moving.
Right.
But being the only male, they would have me go outside and push carts manually by hand. And again, I get it, it's a job, whatever.
Right. No, you're getting paid either way.
But they would be like, okay, work the front. Hey, we're out of carts, and our guy who we hired specifically for this job, we don't know where he is, so can you do his job?
Getting paid for someone doing. Do I get paid double?
And I didn't. So
Bitches.
I would go and push carts for like an hour in the middle of the day, but mind you, like sun time, like I'm sweating my ass off. And so I push all the carts. I come in, and they're like, wow, thanks. Okay, hop back on the line. Don't, like, no break, no nothing. Just, go back in, okay. And then, so I'll be doing my job again. And then, like a few minutes later, hey, we need a few more carts. And so it's like doing that back and forth. I just got really sick of it. And the problem, too, is I'm a fast learner.
Right.
So I started picking up basically all the jobs that were there in front and around in the front. They started asking me for help. And I had only been there for like 2 months.
Oh,
Yeah, and like I was there for 2 months, and I was doing a better performance and doing more of the job than people who worked there for over a year.
that says something, man.
Yeah, and so it was. God,
I swear that's my microphone. I didn't fart.
I love Target. It's just the best.
Tell me how much you love Target.
I would love to work there again.
Oh, yeah?
Don't say it sarcastically. I swear to God.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I am not sponsored by Target,
We're not sponsored by Target.
but I have a Target sticker.
Oh, that's
If you want a Target
Oh,
sticker,
I want a Target sticker.
cool. I'll give you one later.
Thank you.
Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was a brief summary of me at Target. One of my favorite stories from Target is, so there's this lady who was like my higher up.
Yeah.
Found out after I left, she was not that much higher than me,
Oh.
but she was higher.
Oh,
she
okay.
she was like an adult
Like
lady.
figuratively or like literally
No,
high?
like no, not
Kidding.
literally, but
Sorry.
so she was like slightly higher up in the food chain, and she was like an older woman. Not like old, but she was an adult. She has kids for sure, and so I went in early. I think it was like 7 a.m,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was working the front, and suddenly it started picking up. People it got busy.
Right. Right.
And I had a bunch of customers come in, and the funny thing is, like, normally, protocol is if you can see people outside of the lane, like when people first walk in, if you can see them outside, you need someone else. And so, the funny thing is, I was the only one. She looked at me. My line was kind of long already. I was starting to run out of money, so I flipped my switch, like, hey, like, get their attention, and they're supposed to come right away. She walks past me. As my line's full, I'm trying to get the people through. I had no walkie either, so I couldn't even call like, hey, I need this. So she passed me by, she walked by, like looking like she was like trying to do her job. And I'm like, okay. So I was still getting by, but I still had the blinker because I was running low on cash.
Oh, okay.
And so I was just like, I was paying the people, and then I see her walking back. And as she's walking back, this guy wanted change, but I ran out of change. And I wasn't obviously not going to give him more money. Like, I'm going to do my job properly.
Right. Right.
So I had to wait. So I looked at her. We made eye contact.
Yeah.
She looked at my light and turned around.
Oh my God.
She just walked away again. And so I was kind of like,
Did you dirty like that?
this bitch. Like,
No, every right. That makes me angry too.
Yeah, like she sees that I need help, and she just decided to walk away. And so,
Oh my god.
so the point being was,
So you flash a sign for help, and she's like,
Yeah, and
it's
it's
like
been-
it's
it's been
basically like
flashing.
seeing the Titanic drown, and like your Coast Guard, and you're like, they can do it.
yeah, like, it was awful.
That's
and
terrible.
The problem is like my light was flashing for like a good 5 minutes, and so she ignored me. And then finally, so she walks away again, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, man. Like I need to give I need change, and I don't have any there's nothing I can do right now because it was still in the middle of transaction. I can't just close it because I have to give them the change,
Right.
and it wouldn't let me close it. So I was like, I can't just leave the register open. So I'm just like waiting, like he sees me like looking frankly, like no one's around,
Right.
and like because there's no one there, it's early.
No, it's just like, hello.
But for whatever reason, there's like a big line of 5 people,
Right.
and so she finally comes back and she's just like, oh hey sweetie, did you need something? I'm like, oh yeah, I need change, and like she rolls her eyes at me and she's like, okay, yeah, hold on, I'll be right back, and like I'm just like, oh my god, like you're really doing this to me.
Right.
And so like it's hard. It was hard trying to put on a smile and like tell the customers like, hey, like I'm sorry, like please don't be mad, I'm trying my best. But like the guy was really understanding, so it was great.
Oh no, that's good. There wasn't like a soccer mom was like, excuse me,
Yeah.
I don't know what patience is, and fuck
Basically,
you.
and so it was just awful. Like everyone else there was just kind of like
Yeah.
you could tell they were irritated, but they knew it wasn't my fault.
Right. It's like, damn it. They weren't mad at you. They were
Yeah.
mad at the situation. I
Yeah.
feel that on so many levels.
Yeah, and it was just
Yeah.
it was definitely one of those things, and so it was just pretty funny. But the lady finally came, and like I got things moving quickly. But because of the good thing I will say is because of situations like that I had to run through, I actually became really fast at scanning and bagging.
Nice.
So I actually ended up becoming one of the fastest ones there. And obviously not like record,
Not by choice, but
No, not by
because
choice, yeah, yeah.
circumstance.
but yeah, it's like I learned how to scan things really fast and bag them, so that way I can be like, okay, next customer, you know.
Oh, okay. No, that's good.
and so it was
in and
good.
out very quickly.
Yeah, and so it helped. I mean, there was a few times where I would get like compliments on it, and
Yeah.
either they would tell my higher ups or they wouldn't. But point being, they'd be like, oh, like
Yeah.
you give good customer service, or like, you know, like you're doing good, like
Good
thank
notes.
you.
Yeah, those are great
And so
notes.
it was. I had this lady
Yeah.
tell me like, so there was a problem
Yeah.
with this dude. I'm trying to think. I think it was like he needed some verification on like a coupon, and so
Okay.
it was like $1 coupon, right?
Yeah.
Like it was super not like no big deal,
Right.
and so like I was about to turn on my light because I was like, well, it's my job, you know, I have to do this.
Right.
But then I remembered that during training they had also set like our 5-minute training.
Right.
It was Scott training. Anyways, so they had told us like, hey, if it's like $1 or less, like you can make a call under your discretion. This won't be a big deal. Just kind of like just to help things going. If like we're not around or if we're busy, like it's
Right.
okay.
Right.
And so I was about to, but I turned around and was like, you know what? Here, I'll just give it to you. So I gave him the $1 coupon.
Right.
And the great thing is this lady behind her, she was just like, you know what? I like you. And she was like, I like people like you who are able to make a decision instead of having to wait for your supervisor to tell you what to do.
Right.
And she's like, I like people like you who work for me. And yeah, she basically just like, you're the type of person. I like.
So they come in and it's like, oh,
Basically.
here's another job, my child.
Essentially.
And then walks out fancifully.
Yeah, and like I think it was also like early in the morning, so I don't remember exactly what I responded to her.
Yeah.
I just know my idiot didn't follow up with that.
Oh no.
But she was just like, I like people like you to be working for me because you're the type of person who doesn't need that. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Right.
And like I just kind of was like, thanks, and that was it.
He's like, can I get a job? She was hoping you'd ask for a
I
job.
think
I'm guessing
so,
she was
yeah.
like, he's like, and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it didn't happen.
And in reality, I should have.
Oh my god. Wait, you wouldn't have to do this.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that was a fun experience. I've had bad ones, of course.
Right. Right.
But overall, the experience of working there was an interesting one. I definitely learned a lot. But would I go back and work there? If necessary, I would.
I mean, money's money, man.
Exactly.
I mean,
So if
that's being a good
necessary, I would.
businessman. Yeah.
But if I can avoid it for as long as possible, yeah. But don't get me wrong, I still love the place.
Right.
Like, it's still a fun place to be at.
Hold on, our producer's showing us something. Is that someone burning up in Target? No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
It is?
Um,
That's amazing. I got to go there just for that.
you should. It's
Oh.
great discounts.
Oh. You know, speaking of Target, that Bullseye dog, I love that dog. That dog is awesome.
Speaking of Bullseye,
Yeah.
there's a thing called Bullseye's Playground.
Oh.
I don't know if it's in all Targets.
Okay.
But, I mean, okay. The section is, I don't know if that's what they call it.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. They have things that go range from $1 to $10.
All right.
And they have a lot of various like knickknacks or like fun like party favors and things like that. You can just easily buy. And it's actually really fun. It's
I
good
feel like
stuff.
we got to go on a trip to Target like one of these days.
One of these days.
Yeah, just go
Definitely,
like just
definitely.
shopping at Target.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our segment of Target.
Yeah.
Also reminding you again, we are not sponsored by Target. We are just
Not
talking
sponsored by
about Target, because free speech.
Right. Okay, so you talked about that job. I got to talk about one of the jobs I had.
Of course.
So before I work at the job I do now, I used to work at Taco Bell.
Mhm.
And hold on, the producer just showed us something. Okay.
Yeah. So keep going. Keep going.
Okay. And it was interesting. You know, when you work at Taco Bell, you get a certain clientele. And there's this one experience. You know how you just do overall cleaning from time to time? That's what I was in charge of.
Oh, yeah, of
I
course.
was a customer service guy. I was basically ringing people up and like cleaning bathrooms and, you know, the standard stuff because it's a job.
Yeah. Obviously.
So one of these days, I go into the women's restroom to go sweep it up and clean up, and I found like the weirdest shit. Like not like an actual piece of shit. Well, I mean, it
Yeah.
makes sense in the bathroom, but like on the ground for some reason, there was like wafer bars and like various snacks, foods scattered across the floor, still pre-packaged, and I don't know why. And
Sounds
there was
gross.
like a wasabi packet. Like it was the most random assortment of like food you could get. And I brought that to the back. I had to show my coworkers, and we're all like debating. We're like, oh my God, what the hell? Because we had a lot of transients in that
Yeah.
area. It's like, I like Taco Bell. It's like, I'd like you to get out of my lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I just like to imagine like some guy walking in with like a half-eaten Pop-Tart, like just walking in. I like a taco, and can you throw my Pop-Tart in there? Like,
that'd be
what?
awesome. If it was for breakfast, yeah, the waffle taco would kick its ass.
Would it though?
I don't know, man.
a
Diarrhea
Pop-Tart?
is an adventure in itself.
Well, yeah, you're talking about Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by Taco Bell.
Like it's two things. It's your stomach, and then it gets to your
Yes.
bowels, and then it's all game over from there.
Usually. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like something that would happen with working at Target. And Target, wow, I am traumatized. Working at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
They both start with T,
Yeah.
and they both give you diarrhea. I'm just kidding.
Oh my. Wait. Target or Target?
It's called
TJ
Target.
or TJ? Does
TJ.
TJ give you diarrhea?
That sounds like TJ Maxx though, and TJ Maxx is fine.
No, that's.
I have
Speaking
no
of TJ
problems.
Maxx, no kidding.
Not sponsored by.
Not sponsored by TJ Maxx, but if they want to throw stuff our way, we're totally down.
Oh, honestly, like, I think a lot of places, like, okay, you got to keep track of all these places that I'd like to, like, not work at, but like visit,
Right.
and I definitely want to go shopping one of these days.
Agreed. Yeah. Or thrifting for that matter.
Okay, so my version of shopping tends to be thrifting. Okay, as I was younger, I
Yeah.
used to be like, no, like I have to buy the newest things, like it has to be clean, it has to be this and that.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, thrift places are clean. They wash their clothes for a reason. But definitely, like, I didn't get into it until maybe last year.
Ah.
And so it was definitely one of my favorite things to do that I learned to pick up. And I don't know. I think thrifting is the way to go now.
Yeah. And speaking of way to go, it's about time for us on this first episode. So
Yeah, I think we had a good talk. We'd like to thank everybody for listening. If you made it this far,
yeah, if you made it this far, congratulations. I don't have like a shirt or like a button to give you, but I have a figurative gold star.
yes, and you, if you made it this far, you're whack.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, keep out of whack, guys. We'll see you next time.
goodbye.